Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Jason Drees here. It is Thanksgiving week, a little light week. I hope you have some great time planned for your families, but there's still time to get dialed in. There's still time to make an impact. So today, what we're going to talk about, see how aligned you are right now. So let's get focused for this call. It's only going to be about 15 minutes, maybe 20. Let's take a deep breath. Repeat after me. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it. I've got this. I know exactly what to do. Now we're coming up to the end of 2025, and it has been a year for sure. You can put whatever adjective you would like in there. If you're joining me now, drop into the chat, type in where you're dialing in from for me. Because there's still time, right? There's still time to make an impact this year. But let's focus on getting aligned for a great week right now. Whether you're working all week, whether you're spending time with family, whether you're on vacation, we can still be in alignment with a higher level of success, even if we're not going to be working. So 2025 is coming up. So think for a second, how have you been doing? Scale of 1 to 10. Think about that. How have you been doing from 1 to 10? How's success been 1 to 10? How's business been 1 to 10? How have you been 1 to 10 aligning with yourself and doing what you know you need to be doing? Are you doing what you need to be doing? Are you holding back a little bit? What do you think? Let's see if we can tap into some of that potential today. So let's get a sense of a version of you that's a little bit more present right now. Just imagine a version of you that's a little bit more present right now, and a version of you that's a little bit more focused than you are right now. You're here, you're listening. It's only 15-minute call. Let's make the most out of this call. Be here. Put your phone aside. Okay. So let me ask you this question. How are you really? How are you doing? Are you good? You okay? Are you settling? Like, where are you settling? Is your life just crazy amazing? I would love if it is. This past year has been challenging for a lot of people. And as we're coming up at the end of the year, you may be feeling some relief. There may be some rest coming with family. But what I'm really curious about is how much of your potential you've been tapping into, and how much of your potential you're actually avoiding. Because the thing about potential and capacity is that human beings, what I've found is the average human being is playing at 50 to 70% of their potential. You have more untapped potential. But to tap into full of your potential, you have to start saying yes to things that are more difficult and challenging, which of course will cause you to grow more, which is easier than just coasting along at 50%. Now, your life may be perfectly awesome, but I'm guessing you had a time in your past where you went for something big and it didn't work out and it was painful. So you kind of toned back. You aimed a little bit lower. Everybody does that. And I'm here today to remind you to let's step into your full potential. I do everything in my power to play at my full potential. How do I do that? I don't back down from opportunities. I don't back down from challenges. I always aim at the biggest target I can think of. It has made my life incredibly challenging and incredibly rewarding because the man that I've become in this process is powerful. Because you can't fake the satisfaction that you get when you are playing at your absolute full potential. And if you're a parent, the level of your potential you're playing at is you're setting the standard for your children as well. If you're a leader in business, in your community, you're also setting the standard as to what that looks like. So I'm guessing that you probably are aiming at targets you haven't hit yet. We're coming to the end of the year. It's very common to be a little bit emotionally, mentally tired and want to check out a little bit. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. If you're joining me now, type in the chat where you're dialing in from. Great to see you here today. So we got the new year coming up. Do you want a different result next year? Do you want like a different capacity? Type in the chat. I'm in Austin, Texas. Where are you dialing in from? And if you're live with me right now, type in live because we're creating this content live. You're part of it. Now, do you want next year to be different? Do you? I do. And let's continue the dialogue for me. Give me some feedback in the chat. Do you want this next year to be different, 2026? I do. Welcome, Paul, Marshall, David. Good to see you, brother. Do you want the next year to be better? I do. You do. But let me ask you this. How many times have you got to December, got to New Year's, you're like, oh my God, it's going to be great. You change your pattern the first week of January, and by the 15th of January, you're back in the same spot. Who's had that? Type me in the chat if that's been you. I've done it more times than I can count because as human beings, we fall into this comfort zone of movement, right? And while we're born to be great, we're wired to avoid pain and discomfort, right? So there's this contradiction. We want the results of playing at the absolute best. We want the results of that. But sometimes we get caught up. Life is busy. We blink our eyes, 6 months goes by, and we didn't realize that we've been coasting a little bit. So the time to start making the move for 2026 is now. What that means is what expectation are you running right now? Let's check in and type it in the chat if you're live with me right now as we create this awesome video on YouTube. Thank you for joining me in the creation process. What is your present expectation on 2026? That's your frame. Are you expecting 2026 to get better? Are you expecting it to be about the same? Are you expecting to work and operate in a different way? What is, just notice what expectation is running. I'm guessing you haven't put any thought into it. And that's normal. What if we started setting the expectation for success right now? Think about that. Yeah. And if you're live with me, tell me your thoughts in the chat. Now, what if we started connecting to a frame? And a frame is like a point of view. It's a frequency. It's a combination of beliefs. What if we set the frame right now that when January 1 hits, a new version of me is unlocked? What about January 1st, a new capacity in me is unlocked? Let's just notice it's Thanksgiving week right now. Thanksgiving week. You go through Thanksgiving week with the expectation, okay, Christmas is coming up. I got a holiday, got a kind of a light month for most people, and I'm going to get a little break at the end of the year. And 2026, oh my God, a new level is going to be unlocked. Does that feel good or bad? Would you like that reality? Because what you have right now is one of the biggest delineation points in our lives. The biggest delineation points we have are year end. The other big one is moving your house to another location. The third one is like switching jobs. Those are things that radically disrupt having marriage and children also. But those things, it's like the past is radically different. And it's one of the best times to get leverage on change. Because it's much easier to say, I'm going to do this standard, this habit I used to do that was a waste of time. I'm not allowed to do that in 2026. It's done. It's easier to do that than in the middle of the year say, I'm not going to do it in May. So let's take advantage of this opportunity to transform in 2026 simply by choosing to and setting the frame to. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Tell me what you think if you're live with me. It does make a lot of sense, right? Tell me how you're feeling right now. Are you feeling hopeful? 0 to 10. Type for me in the chat or write down on your own. 0 to 10, how are you feeling about next year prior to this call starting? / how are you feeling now from 0 to 10 about next year? I'm guessing that number went up because I was feeling like a 5 or 6 myself. The nice thing about this content that flows through me is I get coached on it too. And by the way, if you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, stay tuned because we're going to do a lot more YouTube content. It's awesome. Because I'm like 6, then 10. Now, notice what's happened. And what's going to happen is that now that you're setting that frame, that this expansion is going to be unlocked, you're going to start thinking differently over the next day. How many of you right now are already thinking differently? Because your frame creates your mindset. Your mindset creates your thoughts. Your thoughts create your actions. Your actions create your results. So now, is 2026 going to be perfect? No. But it can be great. Is it going to be challenging? Yes. Because doesn't great usually come from being challenged? So let's lean into being challenged. Let's lean into our potential. And let's say enough of dealing with this problem you've been dealing with. Now, I know a lot of clients right now, especially a lot of investors, real estate investors, cash flow is not what it was 3 or 4 years ago because the market's tough. Interest rates suck. What have you been tolerating? What have you been tolerating this year? I've been tolerating a much lower income than I would like. I've been tolerating a radically reduced lifestyle and a lot of stress. Now, I also just went through a divorce in the past year, so I've kind of had a lot of personal growth. But I've been tolerating the results of a level that don't match me. Now, my head hasn't been fully in the game because, as you can imagine, going through a divorce of your partner for 16 years does throw you in a loop. But I'll tell you, like that is actually part of my process and part of my future. And that's why you're seeing me talk about divorce right now, because my content always follows what I'm talking about. One of my buddies, Kirk, he's like, Jason, you're like a Sherpa leading the masses, and whatever you're going through, you share it. So even if I may be talking about divorce in some of my other content, it still applies. It's the same mindset. Love that point of view, Lamplighter. Objectively, you are way more rad than ever. Yes, that's compounding. And if you like this, if this is good, like it for me, everybody. Put some likes in there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now I'm the subscribe to the YouTube channel guy. Let's make that next year amazing. Let's just sit in a moment. Now the thing is, you're like, okay, I'm going to make it happen. Because are you with me? I'm guessing most of you are going to say, yes, I'm going to choose to make next year better. I'm going to set the frame now where it's better. And you're like, okay, it's like you're going to schedule it. Oh, hey, Taryn. You're going to schedule it. But when does change happen? Does change happen when you schedule it? All right, I'm going to make that change on January 1st. How many times have you scheduled a change in the future and it didn't happen? Specific, and one example I can give you with a habit that you had been wanting to stop. And you're like, okay, one more time. I'll stop next time. That never works because change happens right now. In this moment, the idea for change is in your head. This is the path you were on, moving straight ahead. Change is moving to the right. If you don't start that new path right now, you're on the same one. The reason why I'm slowing down, because the way to create the change is to make the decision, I am going to the upgraded version. And I'm not going to focus on conquering all these challenges, these little specific challenges next year that I've been dealing with. I'm going to focus on becoming the version of me that has no issue with that. So you don't have to remember all these things to do. No, this upgraded version of me plays it at a tremendously higher capacity. I am in line with that version. I am setting the frame and the decision. And what the decision is, I'm removing the option of being the same. I'm removing the option of not unlocking a next level of me on January 1. Because you can do that. You are in so much control. The sad thing about humanity is that we don't know how reality works. And we're tortured by it because we're literally reacting to our present reality and then manifesting it over and over and over again instead of just simply shifting to the reality we want. So let's connect to the frame. 2026, January 1, unlocks a new potential, new level of success, new capacity, new breakthroughs. And right now, because the decision to remove the option not to started back on November 24th. So and maybe you even take a little Post-it note and you draw it and you check out the box. And every day for the next 38 days left in the year, you say, yes, a new capacity of me is being unlocked on January 1. You just a quick check-in, 10 seconds. Do that every day for the next 38 days and watch what happens. Watch reality shift. You've shifted reality before, haven't you? Absolutely you have. You've made stuff happen you didn't know how. Well, what if this next year is you learn how to dial into that? How do you learn to dial into shaping your reality? I got a hint for you. Who are you listening to right now? Because this guy you're listening to right now isn't talking about goal setting. I'm not talking about positive thinking, and I'm not trying to pump yourself up. I'm talking about shaping your reality, because that's what frame shifting really is. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not teaching you all how to hit goals. I'm teaching you the process for stepping into a higher level of consciousness, so you're a more embodied version of you that unlocks greater capacity, because that's who you are. Can you hear the truth in that? How do I do that? Well, it's my magical gift. It's who I am. When you're listening to me deliver content, doesn't my content feel different than everybody else's you listen to? I'm not just regurgitating. I'm literally transmitting a frequency. So the way to learn that process of shaping your reality and getting control of your life and your expectations and all of this stuff and unlocking everything, opportunities that you've only dreamed of, the way you do that is hang around me more. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, put an alert on your phone, because I'm going to be doing lives 3 to 4 times a week. Start blocking out 12 o'clock Central is the new time starting next week. I'm going to be doing free coaching as well. So if you want to be coached by me, put a note on here, shoot me a message or text. And what we can also do right now is take some immediate action. Some immediate action we can take right now is we can help get you in a 30-minute call. My team will help you map out a do the impossible 90-day map. That is absolutely free. Sign up for the 90-day map. You'll also learn a little bit about coaching. If you want to sign up for coaching, fantastic. If you want to go on your own, great. We'll give you that map. Would you rather start January 1 with a map or without a map? Now, notice any emotional resistance you have to clicking on a link that someone's giving you online. I'm not trying to hard sell you anything. What if that emotional feeling you have about that link actually is about your potential calling and whether you're ready to step into it? Because let me ask you this, is stepping into your potential going to be easy? And with dozens of you on this call, only 3 of you have liked this. Come on, like it. Sheesh. I feel like the YouTube pitch man now. No, it's not going to be easy. What if unlocking your potential on the first week of January causes chaos? That is the process. How do you go from this level to this level? Like, this is the level up call, what we're doing right now, level up call today. So if you're at level 1 and you jump to level 10, there's going to be some growth. So there's going to be chaos. So you can call that change chaos. You can also call it the process to the next level. See how framing shifts everything? What I'm actually teaching you to do, and the reason you want to follow me as much as you can and be around me as much as I can, because number one, my presence breaks down shadows and things that aren't true. At the same time, I can help you build the mindset that naturally works this way, that naturally is aligned with frame shifting and shaping your reality, because all of your mindsets have not been wired to do that, because this is a radical new way of being. If you want to learn how to operate in that radical new way of being, the number one way to learn it the fastest is with working with me one-on-one. I'm also going to be launching some 90-minute sessions with me. So maybe a great, fantastic gift for you in December is to give yourself a 90-minute session with me. And I will help you step into that potential in a 90-minute call. Because 90 minutes with me can absolutely change your life. That's what I do. And if you're intimidated, that's a good sign. That's a good sign, because we're starting to hit on things you're avoiding. Okay, so what did you take from today? My suggestion to do right now, as I wrap up this call, sit for 15 minutes after this. Keep your phone off. Put it in do not disturb, whatever you need to do. And take some notes. I would sit down and journal. I would sit down and make some decisions. Trudy, that is absolutely true. She says, you don't know what is good and happy without first knowing what is bad and unhappy. Absolutely. Contrast. 100%. So you want more success? Welcome more contrast. Awesome comment, Trudy. So let's wrap this call up. Turn on alerts. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on alerts. I'm going to be doing some free hour-long trainings. 12 o'clock Central. Monday through Thursday, starting next week. I think pay attention to my channel. Book in one of my mapping sessions to get you pointed in the right direction, to get you the foundation. And let's have an amazing holiday week. I hope you get the rest connection you need and deserve. Have an amazing day, everybody. Thank you all for following me. This call every Monday. Next week, this call is going to noon. Okay. So next week, the level up call will be 12 o'clock Central. Everybody have an amazing day. If I could be of service, shoot me a note. I read all the comments on YouTube. So if you've got a question for me, put it on there. I will talk to you all soon. Have an amazing day, everybody. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.